Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My group member and I will present the topic of technology leads to human misdeed. We are from group 9. Firstly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nur Ainazia binti Zulkifli. My metric number 1203182. Technology is a scientific knowledge for practical purpose or application whether in industry or everyday life. Whenever we use our scientific knowledge to achieve some specific purpose. Technology as a tool to spread information or opinion and many more. This is because every day or every moment we use the technology by controlling fingertip. For the example, social media is the one tool to spread information, but at the same time we don't know whether the information is it true or not, so that it can make people mislead and also affect the moral of the people. Technology can make people mislead when they use without knowing the truth. Humans seem to live in the world without the limit. This has caused their moral and being mislead. For the example, we can see from the event of Sugar Book, where the moral of youngster has been destroyed. So that we need to refer the moral of Prophet based on Al-Quran and As-Sunnah to become success and having a good moral to avoid misdeed. Technology can affect moral. From the word khulu, known as khali, means exceed reasonable bound or overstate, means that exceed the limit in its abilities, ideas, a divine attribute, certain personalities. For the example, when a people overstate with the technology, they can forget about the moral of Prophet, so that they can be more ta'assub or fanatic with it. Ta'assub is not good for our moral, because moral is a huge important thing, because moral is not only for Islamic aspect, but moral also in globalization and economic. This is because without moral, economic will destroy when they use immoral elements such as usury, fraud, and many more elements of prohibition in Al-Quran and As-Sunnah. To avoid misdeed, people need to apply moral of Prophet in our daily life.
Assalamualaikum to everyone. Okay, just now we have heard the introduction, so we can understand that the technology is now becoming a more widespread and advanced day by day, and can be said to have reached a level not expected by us. So it is not surprising that all type of information can be disseminated more effectively and efficiently using the technology we have now, which also include the dissemination of false information. Such spread can endanger the victim and make them feel confused. Accordingly, the spread of false information is also synonymous with the spread of slander, or we can call it fitnah. Indeed, it should be avoided because it is despicable and only brings harm to us. As stated by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in Surah Al-Hajj, verse 6, the meaning is, "Oh, you who believe, if the wicked brings you a news, impassive it, so that you do not hurt people unknowingly. Have mercy on what you have done." Okay. Then, in addition, we can also see from the issue related to the recent, which is Sugar Book website, where the akidah of humans have been destroyed. The youngsters are willing to sell their self-esteem for cash without thinking long. This immoral act can cause their future to lead a terrible way of life. to lead them straight, cultivate akidah in their heart is the best way to make them avoid the terrible side of the technology. If they have strong faith, they will better understand good and bad, therefore can lead them and their friend toward a righter path.
Video games and e-sport can be seen as an activity that can fill free time, but it is also appropriate for people of all ages. Addiction to this practice, both among children and adults, is, however, a serious problem. Jiwa Damai Center for Mental Health consultant Aiman Amri said that the World Health Organization (WHO) takes seriously this issue called gaming disorder, which is seen in other categories of addiction. There are studies that show among the characteristics of these video players are the tendency to commit violent behavior, lack of empathy, desensitization to violent actions, and lack of feeling to help others. He said, video games can also invite disadvantage where it can affect the minds and emotion of players, especially the minds and emotion of children and adolescents who do not have a mature level of mind and stable emotion compared to adults. What is more worrying is that there are video games that display the characteristic of violence, pornography, immorality, and that are not in line with the way of life of Eastern society. All of this can lead to a negative influence on a player's way of life, on a player's mind. If this negative influence is not controlled from an early stage, there is a possibility that it will affect the character of an individual to the extreme so that it can bring danger to the individual involved as well as those around. Meanwhile, addiction of video games has been one of the most significant issues. This is because children who are addicted to video games will be exposed to a lot of negative factors and will be one of the primary sources of negative influences. Mostly, children of all ages will spend their time playing video games for 3 to 7 hours as opposed to doing homework. Besides, youth is one of the assets to the country and technology will evolve with the presence of youth of caliber. Like Sukarno's words, give me 10 young men, I will shake this world. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq Firdaus bin Azman. My matrix number 1203184. So today I would like to continue the presentation about solution to face the problem of technology leads to human misdeeds. The first point is the role of parents are important to children by monitoring them in case using gadget in a daily basis because it can cause teenagers especially careless and obsessed with gadget to the point of forgetting their responsibilities as a children or teenagers. Number two, the government should act by blocking or taking strong action against the use of websites which are not properly accessed by public. Examples include gambling, pornography or video games that contain the elements of other religious culture. Number three, the role of school in teaching children by imparting more knowledge about the disadvantages or bad consequences when a student uses technology in the wrong way. Number four, society needs to create a large-scale activities by means of NGOs or other associations, creating large-scale campaigns or advertisement regarding the misuse of technology that causes the collapse of one's moral if not used properly. Next, the speed of technology will continue in the modern era. It is hard to enable or stop its development. Denying technology modern in the lives of children or adolescents means block the development in era digital as well as globalization. Therefore, the support and cooperation from all parties is needed to ensure their development in a healthy and safe environment. Besides parents, these roles and responsibilities are also not excluded to the government as policymakers, school parties, communities of a place that directly involved in creating and designing technology. In conclude, technology is undeniable that has many benefits and provide convenience to human beings. However, there are also drawbacks if not used properly. For example, we are easily exposed to Western elements that do not fit our characteristic as Muslims and human beings with noble morals. The application used must be considered as pros and cons, so that we are protected from using applications that are not useful. Besides, it is the duty of all societies to maintain a noble attitude in themselves, so that the country continues to be safe and prosperous. In addition, the authorities shall conduct campaigns on the wise use of technology and limits or restrict applications that are not beneficial and harmful to society. Parents also need to control and take notice of the applications and periods used by the children. Lastly, as a human being of noble character, we must always be sensitive and wise in the use of technology. There are many benefits that we will get and facilitate our daily work if we use it properly. So that's all from us. Thank you.